What's up, Dolphins fans? It is an awesome day to be a Dolphins fan, and it took a few years off our lives, but 36-34 final in dramatic fashion. The Dolphins get the Week 1 win, and it's time for our post-game instant reaction, recapping that thrilling 36-34 victory on the road against a good Chargers team, no less. But you know what? The Dolphins were just a little bit better today, and that's what it's all about. Tua Tagovailoa in this offense got it done. The defense made enough plays when they had to be victorious, and a total team effort resulting in a Week 1 dub for the Miami Dolphins. So Tua, 466 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, the 1 interception. Raheem Mostert, 10 carries, 37 yards rushing, and the 1 touchdown. But how about Tyreek Hill? I mean, we knew this guy was electric, dynamic, but he put the rest of the NFL on notice as arguably the best wide receiver in the game, the most dynamic player, over 200 yards receiving, and the 2 touchdowns. We knew this Dolphins offense could be special, and they were special on Sunday. Why do you subscribe to this channel? Because we got every day Dolphins videos, every day Dolphins rumors, injury updates, content in its finest form in today's Dolphins Today. Subscribe now. And we had a heck of a day today. We got all the way up to 44,326 subscriptions. Our goal now is 45K. Can we do it? I say, yes, we can. But what a day for the Miami Dolphins. They get the victory, and offensively, again, you can't say enough about how good this Dolphins team was. 536 yards altogether, better than 8 yards a play. Tua was electric, and the offensive line gave him time to throw, and they played very well. Tua was not sacked once this game. He was only hit twice, 28 of 45, 466 yards, and the ground game did enough to pose a threat and be something for the Chargers to be concerned about. 20 carries for 70 yards. And I think there's still more that running game can do. There's the 1 rushing touchdown for Raheem Mostert. Now, 2 turnovers. We know that's costly, but think of how good this Dolphins offense can be if they don't turn the ball over. 36 points today, even with the 2 turnovers. 27 minutes and 19 seconds in time of possession. Nearly half the game, that battle was pretty even. Now for the Chargers on offense. Look, I said in the open, it wasn't always pretty by this Dolphins defense. They made some plays when it mattered most, but there's still some work to do on the defensive side of the ball for the Dolphins. The Chargers compiled 433 yards, better than 5 yards per play. And really on the ground is where the Chargers had their way. Yes, the 199 yards passing for Justin Herbert, but take a look at that rushing number. 40 carries for 234 yards. If you would have told me the Dolphins gave up 234 yards and still won, I might not have believed you. But hey, that's how the cookie crumbled this time around. So the Dolphins defense in terms of rushing the ball, or in terms of preventing the other team to run the ball, they got to be better there on defense. Time of possession, we said it was pretty even. Chargers with 32 minutes. But what matters most, the Chargers got the dub. The Dolphins got the dub. 36-34. What would you grade the Dolphins versus Chargers? Grade the Dolphins' performance. A, B, C, D, or F. For me, I give the Dolphins a B, maybe even a B minus, because I know they can play better. And it makes you excited when you think that this Dolphins team can play better, and they still got the big road win because there were still the 2 turnovers. It wasn't a perfect game. Defensively, they can make some more plays, not give up better than 200 yards on the ground. And they're still, hey, it's one game. It's hard to win on the road in the National Football League, and that's what the Dolphins did here this afternoon. 36-34, the victory over the Chargers. Now, my biggest takeaways, my 5 takeaways. Number 1, this offense, could be scary good. I mean, the Dolphins, the only time they were stopped is when they stopped themselves. They committed a couple of turnovers. Other than that, it was Tua having his way, distributing the ball to a number of different receivers, obviously most notably Tyreek Hill with better than 200 yards receiving and the 2 touchdowns. But 28 of 45 for 466 yards, 3 touchdowns, forget about it. This offense is electric. They're dynamic. The tone of the game can change in one play. We saw that a couple of times with the long touchdown to Tyreek Hill and some of the long third down conversions that this Dolphins offense had. Better, perhaps even better than advertised. That's my first takeaway about this Dolphins offense. And again, Tyreek Hill, scary good. 11 catches, 215 yards, and the 2 touchdowns. He's the fastest receiver in the NFL, might be the best wide receiver in the NFL. I'm a little bit biased, but he's certainly on that short list of the most dynamic players in the National Football League. So this offense might even be better than advertised. My second question for you, I need you to weigh in on this. After today's performance in Week 1, you think Tua is a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League? Let me know in the comments. Type Y for yes, N for no. I think today, when Tua had time to throw, which again, you got to give a shout out to the offensive line, he proved that he is a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. Really impressive performance from Tua Tagovailoa today, and that entire offense putting up 36 points. Total team effort, yes, but the offense certainly helped earn the win today. My second takeaway, that run defense needs to be better. It's hard enough to win on the road in the National Football League, which the Dolphins did today, but to do it while still giving up 200 yards on the ground. Now, Austin Eckler, of course, is RB1 for the Chargers. He had over 117 yards and the 1 touchdown, but he did that in just 16 carries. I mean, he was gashing this Chargers defense. This Dolphins defense. So, yes, the Dolphins made plays defensively when it mattered most to help secure that win, but you can't give up over 200 yards on the ground and expect to win consistently in the National Football League. So that's my second biggest takeaway. You also got to give a shout out to RB2 for the Chargers, Joshua Kelly. He had 16 carries for 91 yards and the touchdown. So again, this Chargers offense was gashing Miami, but they still made enough plays to be successful and ultimately get the win. Takeaway number 3, that offensive line, big question mark coming in. I thought they delivered and exceeded my expectations. We knew Terron Armstead was going to be out, so that left it up to Kendall Lamb and the left tackle. And we didn't call his name but maybe once the entire game. And if you're an offensive lineman, if nobody's noticing you, turns out that probably means you're playing pretty well. Isaiah Wynn was all right. Now, Connor Williams at the center position, we know he had the trouble with the snaps a couple of times in the preseason, and that reared its ugly head early as there was the fumble on a quarterback exchange with Tua under center in that opening drive that prevented the Dolphins from getting points. Now, Robert Hunt and Austin Jackson on the right side don't have their Pro Football Focus grades yet. However, I got to believe that they're going to grade out pretty well because, again, Tua was not sacked and he was only pressured twice. Very impressive. He was only hit twice. My apologies. But overall, the offensive line played really well. My fourth biggest takeaway, that red zone offense. I hate to be negative because it was an exciting win for the Dolphins, but you got to clean up that red zone offense. You can't have 2 turnovers, one when you're going in to score and one being an interception in the end zone. So those are 2 easy correctable mistakes that the Dolphins made. And again, it's easier to learn from your mistakes than to win, right? The Dolphins get the win on the road and still have areas that they can improve upon, the red zone offense being one of them. But overall, I mean, you see it right there on your screen. Well done by this offense, and you take out the 2 turnovers, it's an A-plus performance. But 536 yards on offense, 466 yards passing. The running attack did just enough to be relevant and be an extra wrinkle for the Chargers to defend. And again, those turnovers, you take them out of the picture and clean it up for next week. That's as good as an offense as you'll see in the NFL. Now, my last takeaway, this defense, again, it wasn't always great, but when this defense was able to get pressure on Justin Herbert, that's when they were at their best. Down the stretch in that last drive that sealed the game for the Dolphins, they got 2 sacks. Zach Sieler had 1, and even Jalen Phillips and Justin Bethel combined for a sack as well. Another big point in the game was that 3-and-out that the Dolphins defense forced the Chargers to punt out of their own end zone, and because they were punting out of their own end zone, set up great field position for the Dolphins, and Tua and Tyreek Hill took advantage of it. But Cater Kohu had a heck of a series in that defensive stand and had the sack as well. So Vic Fangio got creative a couple of times, dialed up some corner blitzes that allowed both Cater Kohu and Justin Bethel to get sacks. I think you'll continue to see that from this Dolphins defense and getting creative in finding ways to pressure the quarterback, because that's going to be absolutely crucial to the success of this Dolphins defense. Now, last but certainly not least, had a blast today. Watch parties. That's why you subscribe to this channel. You subscribe for daily content. You subscribe for daily news, updates, injury reports, anything you can think of as it relates to the teal and orange. We've got you covered. That's why you subscribe for free Dolphins videos every day. Doesn't cost you anything, doesn't hurt, and you get non-stop Dolphins content. So I got to ask you as well, what was your biggest takeaway from this game? For me, I gave you my 5, and I think most notably is this offense could be scary good. I mean, we're talking a top 5 offense in the league as far as weapons are concerned, with Tua having time to throw, connecting with Tyreek Hill, mixing it in with Jalen Waddle, the rushing attack with Raheem Mostert and Savon Ahmed. Remember, Devon Achane was out today. He was a healthy scratch. We'll get him back and mixed in the running back room as well. The future, so bright. River Craycraft, got to mention him. He had a touchdown. Durham Smythe had a couple of catches at that tight end position. But you got to feel good about this Dolphins offense. 36 points, and they turned the ball over in the red zone twice. So they had the 1 fumble on the goal line and the interception in the end zone. So, yes, 36 points is great. Better than 500 yards of total offense, but they can be even better, baby. And I can't wait for that. Week 2, Sunday night football against the Patriots. Join us for the watch party for that. But we got tons of Dolphins videos coming to you before that. Be with us every day this week. Subscribe for daily Dolphins content on Dolphins Today. For everybody at Chat Sports, I'm Jake Riepma. Thanks so much for tuning in. Dolphins get the victory in Week 1 over the Chargers, 36-34. Let me know your biggest takeaway in the chats. Mine, the Dolphins are 1-0. Can't wait for this entire season. We'll see you next time on Dolphins Today. See ya.